So you say that you want to make millions of dollars, you want to buy a luxury house, you want to have freedom to do whatever that you want to do. But right now you're sitting, watching a video and instead of building it. Why? Because no one ever told you that fantasies and daydreaming doesn't build empires. It's daily actions and taking consistent action that will build those things. You're all living a double life. We say that we want to make millions of dollars, we want to network with other people and have good friends and good relationships, but instead we sit down on the couch, we sit down on our bed for hours, we scroll on our phone, we distract ourselves, we numb ourselves with different things. We do everything except doing the things that will actually buy us that freedom, that house and that car and those relationships. And you keep daydreaming and you keep fantasizing. This is a psychological trap, and if you don't break out of it, you will spend your whole life fantasizing and daydreaming about becoming a star without ever becoming one. We as humans are very weird creatures. We read hundreds of books in the self-development. We watch a lot of videos, we read the quotes, and we follow the influencers and we follow the mentors and everything. But when it comes to taking action and doing the things that actually matter, we sit down and we distract ourselves. And even if we start, we don't stick to something for more than 1 week or a month, or maybe for some people for a year, but not more than that. So we don't stick to something for long enough. We never start studying, we never start saving, we never start learning the skills. For example, yesterday I went to the library, I studied there for 1 hour, and when I came back home, I sent an email and I just got a job offer for this summer, and I'm still taking a summer course. And I knew that in 2 weeks I will start working, but I had a lot of things to do. I had to study because the day that I would start working, the next day I would have my midterm for the course, and this course is very important, and I had to send lots of emails and everything. But instead, I was sitting down and I had my phone in my hand, and it was sunny, and I was sitting beside the window. I was just enjoying the weather, and I was just looking at my phone, talking with my sisters and laughing. And then I started watching YouTube videos, and I saw a very luxury house, and I clicked on the video and I watched the house, and I really liked it, and I said, okay, I'll buy this house someday. But when I looked at my bank account, I only had $500 in my bank account, and I knew that if I don't start working right now, I wouldn't be able to make the rent for the next month. Suddenly I thought with myself that, wow, I'm very far from these things. The irony is that when I was a kid, I was the smart one. I would always get A+ grades. I would always think that I'm very special and that I'm meant for something, that I'm going to be a very strong, successful person in the future. I started thinking about high school, that I would just go to school and come back and I would spend hours scrolling. I've spent my whole life distracting myself and numbing myself with distractions. I would get A+ grades, but I was not doing anything more than that. And I know that I'm not alone. I know that a lot of people, they daydream, they fantasize, and they have delusions, and they think that they are going to buy mansions, make millions or billions of dollars and become very successful. But when it comes to taking action, they're not doing anything. They're just talking, they're just visualizing, thinking with themselves that they're going to achieve something, but they're not actually doing anything in real life. So we get stuck in this fantasy trap. We always think and fantasize that we are going to achieve very big results, but actually we are doing nothing. Our minds, they love fantasies. Why? When we are thinking about money and success, our mind will release dopamine, which feels good and feels like progress, but is actually nothing. For example, you imagine and you think about your dream house, but you don't imagine and you don't think about the 5 or 10 years of work that you have to do. Why? Because social media and TVs, they sell the destination, the fame, the grades, the money, the house, but hide the grind. No movie shows the 10,000 failed takes before the Oscar. For example, you say that you want to become a successful student or a successful person in the future, but if I look at your last 24 hours, will I see someone who is actually building those life, or someone who is pretending to build that life? We are raised on fantasies and dreams. TVs and movies, they show the Lamborghini and private jets, but they never show the 80 hours work weeks. They tell us to dream big, but not to do big. The brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So if you think about the money and success, your brain releases dopamine and you think that you've already achieved it. So why bother at all? Your soul, the dream, the results, the money and the fame, but you're not being taught the process, the work, the consistency, the discipline it takes, learning skills, years of taking action, years of sticking to something. Most of movies and social media, they glamorize success and fame, but they rarely explain how difficult, structured, and boring the daily grind is. Your brain treats fantasies like real achievements. For example, if you close your eyes and think about the money and how you make your mom happy and everything, you will get a hit of dopamine and you will feel happy. But if you look at your bank account, there is no difference there. When I was 17 years old, our English teacher, he said, "What do you want to become in the future?" I told him that I want to become a billionaire. So he smiled and said, "Work hard." What did he say? He said, "Work, not daydream, not to fantasize." In Hollywood movies, when they show a successful person, they show the private jets, the house and everything, but they don't show you that they are working when they are tired. They don't show you that they will stick to something for years even if they get disappointed. And you stick to those fantasies and daydreams because you've built an identity for your mind and it is very important for you now. You think that you're destined for greatness, but you're not doing anything. And the moment that you want to break out of it and you want to do something, your brain will pulls you back because doing something and becoming successful, it requires effort, discipline, and taking action, consuming energy, but your mind doesn't want to consume energy and it wants to save energy and keep you safe. And now let's talk about the cure and the treatment for this. First of all, you have to understand that fantasies don't build empires. It's daily actions, it's discipline, it's consistency, it's putting in the effort, sticking to something for long enough. And you have to understand that fantasizing and daydreaming is mental masturbation. It feels like progress, but it is not. So the only thing that you need is habits and systems, because you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. You have to create habits and systems for yourself because those habits are the things that are going to determine your success in the future. For example, post 2 videos a week. For example, study coding for 1 hour every day. For example, sleep at a certain time, wake up at a certain time. Number 3, you have to track your actions and not your dreams. Track actions and what is real instead of your fantasies and your daydreamings. Your actions are the truth. What you do in a day is the truth. Your fantasies are just your mental masturbation. So every day you can measure, did you study for today? Did you record for today? What did you actually do for today? And you can give yourself a score. You have to write down that what did you do exactly in a day, not the things that you think that you did. So write down the reality and how did you spend the last 24 hours. And you have to write down every single day so you're aware that what are you doing in 24 hours. It just takes 2 or 3 minutes every day. And you have to go from delusion to discipline. Commit to small, non-negotiable daily disciplines. Make taking action part of who you are, not something that you hope for. And build an action-based identity. And it should be part of your identity that you're someone who always takes actions instead of fantasizing and daydreaming and making plans and systems and these things. You have to take action consistently every single day because the only thing that is going to move the needle and the actual thing that you have to do is taking action, putting the effort, sticking to something for a long time and starting, not waiting for tomorrow or the next day because you're just fooling yourself with saying that, okay, I'm going to start tomorrow or I'm going to start next week. And shrink the gap between thought and action. Wake up in the morning and you think with yourself, or when you look at the list that you have a lot of things to do, don't sit down and think about it or distract yourself. Just go and do it. So the more that you shrink the gap between thought and action, the more successful you're going to be. So every day, just take action and do the things that you're supposed to do. Stop daydreaming and fantasizing about the house, mansion, cars, and these kinds of things because you're just mental masturbating and you're not achieving anything. You're not making any progress. That is not part of your identity yet. So if you want to become a star, you have to start becoming a star and not just thinking about it and fantasize and daydream about it. So that's all I got for today. If you like this video and you can relate to these types of videos, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and I'll see you in the next videos.